I have to be honest with you. When I first opened up the research for this deep dive, I had this specific bias. I think most people do.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about fertility, and our minds, they just immediately picture a woman. We think about tracking cycles and egg quality, that kind of thing.
Right. Prenatal vitamins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the data in here, it just completely flips the script.
It really does. It's one of those blind spots in medicine that's only just now starting to get the attention it deserves.
I mean, just look at these numbers. Male infertility affects, what is it, roughly 7% of men globally?
Mm.
And when you zoom in on couples who are actually struggling, the male factor, which is the polite medical term, I guess, it contributes to nearly half the cases.
40 to 50%, which is staggering when you think about how lopsided the conversation usually is.
We basically ignore half the equation.
Totally.
So our mission today is to try and balance the scales. And we aren't doing the generic eat healthy and get more sleep advice.
No, this is the hard science.
Yeah, we're looking at what I'm calling biohacking, the male reproductive system. We have 10 specific evidence-based supplements to get through.
Right. And to be clear, we aren't just, listing vitamins for the sake of it. We are looking at the actual physiology of fecundity.
Fecundity. I love that word. It sounds so, abundant.
Well, it basically means the potential for reproduction, the biological capacity to produce offspring. And the fascinating thing about the male side of this is that, unlike egg supply, which is finite, sperm production is a continuous manufacturing process. It's dynamic.
Which means we can influence it.
We can influence it. We can upgrade the factory line.
I like that. So we can address the specific failures, like
Yeah.
oxidative stress or energy deficits.
Precisely.
Okay, so before we get to the supplements, we need to understand what we're actually trying to fix. The sources lay out 4 specific conditions. I'm calling them the 4 horsemen of male infertility.
That's a dramatic title, but it's pretty fitting. Yeah. If you get a semen analysis back, it can look like a different language. So let's decode it.
Okay, first up is oligospermia.
This is simply a numbers game. Low sperm count.
So not enough sperm.
Right. Think of it like a highway. Oligospermia means the highway is practically empty. There just aren't enough cars on the road to make sure one reaches the destination.
Got it. Okay, next is asthenospermia.
This is all about motility. The cars are on the highway, but they've got flat tires, they aren't moving, or they're just kind of swimming in circles.
They're not going forward.
Exactly. If they can't swim progressively, they'll never reach the egg.
And then we have teratospermia.
That's morphology, the shape. A healthy sperm has a nice oval head and a long tail. Teratospermia means you've got sperm with, say, 2 heads or a coiled tail. They're not built right.
So even if they get there, they can't do the job.
Anatomically, they just can't penetrate the egg.
And the fourth one? This one felt the heaviest to read about. DNA fragmentation.
This is the invisible enemy. You could have a guy with a great count, perfect swimming, perfect shape, but inside the head of the sperm, the cockpit, let's say, the genetic blueprint is torn up.
And this is what really struck me. The sources say this isn't just about failing to get pregnant.
No, and that is such a crucial distinction. High DNA fragmentation can still result in fertilization. The sperm gets in. But because the instruction manual, the DNA is damaged, the embryo often just stops developing. This is a leading cause of early miscarriage.
Oh, it's just heartbreaking. So we're not just talking about conception. We're talking about a viable pregnancy.
Exactly. But the good news is we can repair some of this damage. The root causes oxidative stress, nutritional gaps. We have a stack to fix them.
Right. So let's get into the fix. The sources group these supplements, and I want to start in what I'm calling the engine room, because I had no idea sperm needed so much energy.
Oh, a ludicrous amount. Think about the physics of it. A sperm cell is tiny. The distance it has to travel is relative to its size, like a human swimming across the Atlantic.
No way.
It's a massive endurance event. It requires an immense amount of ATP biological energy. If the battery dies halfway, well, the game is over.
So to upgrade the battery, the first supplement is coenzyme Q10. CoQ10. I see this in face creams.
Yeah. But you're not rubbing it on your skin. You take this orally. CoQ10 is a lipid-soluble antioxidant, but its main job is inside the mitochondria.
The power plants of the cell.
Exactly. They churn out that ATP. For guys with what doctors call idiopathic infertility, which is just fancy talk for we don't know why, this is often the first line of defense.
So if the mitochondria are sluggish, the sperm are sluggish.
That's it. The data points to a dosage of around 200 to 400 milligrams a day.
And what kind of improvement are we talking about? Is it marginal?
No, it's significant. Studies showed an increase in concentration by nearly 6 million per milliliter.
Okay, hold on. 6 million. Is that a lot?
Well, context matters. If a man has zero sperm, this won't fix it overnight. But if he's sitting at, say, 10 million, which is subfertile, adding 6 million is a 60% increase.
So it pushes him into the normal range.
It can. It can be the difference between needing IVF and conceiving naturally.
Wow. Okay, so that's a game changer for guys on the bubble.
And it also improved motility by over 5%, and morphology too. Plus, it's an antioxidant, so it helps protect that DNA.
Okay, so CoQ10 is the battery charge. But there's a second part here, L-carnitine.
Right. If CoQ10 is the charge, L-carnitine is the fuel line. Its job is to transport fatty acids into the mitochondria to be burned for energy.
So you can have all the fuel you want, but without L-carnitine to shuttle it into the engine.
Nothing happens. And this is so critical for motility. The tail of the sperm needs that constant energy.
And the dosage here seems pretty high.
It is. The research points to 2 to 3 grams daily. That's grams, not milligrams. And the payoff is specifically in progressive motility.
The ones swimming in the right direction.
The ones that matter. We saw a 7.45% increase there.
Which, again, sounds small, but if you have millions of sperm, getting 7% more of them to actually swim toward the target is a huge deal.
It's millions more chances. But, and this is the catch for all of these, you have to be patient.
How patient?
Spermatogenesis, the whole process of making a new batch of sperm, takes about 72 to 90 days.
So 3 months. You can't pop a pill on Tuesday and expect results on Friday.
No, you're fueling the production line today for the product that will roll off the assembly line 3 months from now.
Ugh, that is a crucial expectation to set.
Okay.
Engine is running. Now let's talk defense. The sources spend a lot of time on oxidative stress.
This is the biggest villain in the whole story.
The analogy I kept seeing is rust. Is that accurate?
It's a perfect analogy. Your body produces these unstable molecules called reactive oxygen species, ROS. If you don't neutralize them, they start stealing electrons from healthy cells.
So they literally degrade the cells.
They do. They degrade the membranes, the DNA, it's biological rusting, and sperm are just sitting ducks for this.
Why them specifically?
Their membranes are made of polyunsaturated fats, which these ROS molecules love to attack. It's called lipid peroxidation.
So we need a shield, a defense grid. And the first soldier is vitamin C.
The humble vitamin C.
I gotta admit, I was skeptical. I mean, vitamin C feels like what you take when you have a sniffle.
The data is shocking. It's a water-soluble scavenger. It hangs out in the seminal plasma, the fluid the sperms swim in, and it stops the rust before it even reaches the cell.
Okay, so what did the studies show?
Well, one study looked at men taking 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day. And in some cases, it doubled the sperm count.
Doubled it.
Double. And motility increased by over 90% after just 2 months.
Wait, a 90% increase in motility? Just from vitamin C?
Just from clearing out the oxidative stress, it's like trying to swim through sludge versus clear water. Vitamin C cleans the water.
That's wild. Okay, but it has a partner, right? Vitamin E.
They're the dynamic duo. Vitamin C protects the fluid, while vitamin E is fat-soluble, so it actually integrates into the sperm's cell membrane, the skin of the sperm itself.
Ah, so vitamin C is the moat, and vitamin E is the castle wall.
Exactly. It prevents that lipid peroxidation from destroying the cell. You're usually looking at 400 to 600 IUs daily.
And the third musketeer here is selenium. This one seems a bit more chemical.
It's a trace mineral, but it's absolutely vital. It works like a key. There's an enzyme in your body called glutathione peroxidase. It's a master detoxifier.
It eats oxidative stress for breakfast.
It does. But, and this is the big but, it cannot work without selenium.
So if you're selenium deficient, you have this powerful enzyme just sitting there doing nothing.
It's like having a Ferrari with no keys. And deficiencies are common. Adding just 50 to 200 micrograms of selenium can boost concentration by nearly 4 million per milliliter.
Just by unlocking that one enzyme. Wow. Okay, so we've got energy and defense. Now we need to build the structure, the architects, zinc, folic acid, and omega-3s.
Right. Let's start with zinc. It's sort of the bedrock of male fertility.
I feel like it's the one mineral everyone associates with manliness.
For good reason. It drives testosterone, yes, but its structural role is even cooler. It helps pack the DNA.
Pack it how?
Okay, think of the DNA strand. It's incredibly long. To fit inside that tiny sperm head, it has to be wound up super tightly. That's called chromatin compaction.
And zinc's role is?
Zinc is the biological glue that holds that package together. If you're low on zinc, the suitcase explodes. The DNA unravels. That's a direct link to that fragmentation we talked about.
Terrifying. So 15 to 30 milligrams of zinc is like the strap on the suitcase.
Correct. And it works hand in hand with folic acid.
Which, again, I always associate with prenatal vitamins for women.
Just as important for men. Folate is crucial for DNA synthesis itself. You're making millions of sperm a day, so you're constantly copying DNA. Folate is a quality control that ensures those copies don't have errors.
Okay, last builder. Omega-3s. Fish oil. Why is this in the structural category?
Because of what I call the fluidity concept. We think of cells as hard spheres, but they aren't, especially sperm. When it meets the egg, it has to fuse with it. It has to kind of melt into it.
The membrane needs to be squishy.
Exactly. If the membrane is rigid, it just bounces off. Omega-3s incorporate into that membrane and keep it fluid and flexible.
Makes them squishy enough to merge.
And the numbers on this are massive. One study showed that 1 to 2 grams of omega-3s daily led to a sperm count increase of 18.7 million per milliliter.
Whoa, 18.7 million. That's the biggest number we've seen today. By far.
It is huge. It really just highlights that we are what we eat. You build your cells out of good fats, they work better.
Okay, we're in the home stretch, the last category, the regulators. Hormones and stress. We have vitamin D and ashwagandha.
Let's start with vitamin D. We call it a vitamin, but it really acts like a hormone. It regulates calcium signaling.
And why does a sperm need calcium signaling?
For something called the acrosome reaction. Think of the egg as having a locked door. The sperm has a cap on its head, the acrosome. When it hits the egg, a calcium signal triggers that cap to burst and release enzymes that basically dissolve the egg's shell.
So no vitamin D, no key, no entry.
Correct. Supplementing with 2,000 to 5,000 IU a day can ensure that reaction happens. Plus, it boosts testosterone.
And finally, ashwagandha. This is an herb.
Yeah.
An adaptogen.
Yes. And I am so glad this is in the stack because it addresses the elephant in the room. Stress.
Modern life.
Modern life is a fertility killer. When you're stressed, you produce cortisol. And cortisol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down.
Your body thinks, we're being chased by a tiger. This is not the time to make a baby.
Exactly. It shuts down the factory to save energy for survival. Ashwagandha lowers cortisol. It convinces your body the tiger is gone.
And the stats on this are impressive.
Incredible. 300 to 675 milligrams a day increased motility and morphology by 21% each.
21%. That's not a subtle shift.
It's massive, and it's purely from managing the stress response.
Okay, so we have the stack. Energy boosters, rust removers, builders, stress killers. But here's the problem I always have with this stuff. I go to Amazon, I type in ashwagandha, and I get 10,000 results. Half of them look like they were made in a bathtub.
That is a completely legitimate concern. The supplement industry is the Wild West. You could be buying sawdust, or worse, something with heavy metals, which would actually hurt your fertility.
Right. So where do we go? The source material pointed to a specific resource, the Berkeley Center for Reproductive Wellness in New York City.
Yeah, and this is a great part of the story. The founder, Mike Berkeley, he wasn't just a clinician. He was the patient.
Oh, I love that. He's been in the trenches.
Totally. Back in the 90s, he and his wife were struggling. The conventional Western route just wasn't working. They eventually found success through acupuncture and herbal medicine, and it just changed his life.
He pivoted his entire career.
He did. He became the first acupuncturist in the U.S. to specialize exclusively in reproductive medicine. He's been at this since 1998.
And what I like about his approach is that he doesn't reject Western medicine.
Not at all. He integrates. He'll read the Western diagnostic, the semen analysis, and then apply Eastern and functional solutions. He works with guys doing IVF. It's complementary.
But for the guy listening who lives in, say, Ohio or London, he can't get to Midtown Manhattan.
Right, and that's the key. The Berkeley Center is an authorized full-script dealer.
And full script is?
What? It's a dispensary that only deals with professional-grade brands. They track everything, sourcing, storage, expiration dates. If you get it from there, you know it's the real molecule.
And there's a listener perk, right? A discount.
Yes, a 10% discount on the entire stack we just discussed. The CoQ10, L-carnitine, all of it. It's a way to get clinical-grade tools without the markup.
That's huge. We'll make sure that link is front and center. So let's wrap this up. We've thrown a lot of biology at you. If I'm a guy listening, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed or maybe a bit broken.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway?
The takeaway is agency.
Agency.
When you get a diagnosis of male factor infertility, it feels so final. It feels like a verdict. But the biology tells a different story. The fact that you can take vitamin C and literally double your count.
Or ashwagandha and fix morphology by 20%.
Right. That proves the system is malleable.
It's not a fixed state.
It is not. You are remaking your fertility every 90 days.
So, practically speaking, I wake up, I take my CoQ10 and vitamin E with breakfast because they need fat.
Correct. Take the fat solubles with food. Maybe take the ashwagandha in the evening to wind down. But the point is, you just start.
And why accept the diagnosis as permanent when the machinery is this responsive?
Exactly. We have far more control over our biological destiny than we give ourselves credit for. You aren't broken. You might just be underfueled and rusty.
I love that. We can be the architects. Thanks for breaking all this down.
My pleasure.
And to our listener, thanks for diving deep. Check the link, take control, and we'll catch you on the next one.